Welcome to the StockMiner.com studios. I'm Brian Johnson, and we prepare for the Super Bowl tomorrow. So I'm going to get my video done and done a little bit early. Have it out about a day early. Hopefully you guys will get a chance to look at this before the week begins. Let's fly through it. All right, last week we saw a slow creep up at the end of the week for the markets. And here on the Dow, you can see us breaking to new highs. Still nothing broken from the bullish side. It's getting to be a very, very just a broken record, really. It's just the same song, different verse, it seems, every time we talk. Everybody's waiting for the pullback, the big drop, the big fall. But you know what? It'll come when it's ready. We've had good opportunities, or I should say, the bears have had great opportunities to pull this thing down and taken advantage of none of it. You just keep buying it up again every time it dips. Looks like it's just another opportunity for the markets to get in at a better price. So, heading forwards, we have to continue to believe that will be the case. We've seen the starts of weeks been, actually a lot of days are just flat to up a little bit, then maybe flat again to up a little bit more as we creep our way upwards. We saw two very good moves here Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, as you see, just went nowhere. However, the market direction is still up. It has not changed. They can talk about indicators, they can talk about oscillators, they can talk about this, they can talk about that. Truth of the matter is, none of that makes a bit of difference at all to the markets. They don't care. They're going to move when they're going to move, and they're going to move where they want to move. We can't do anything about it. We just don't have the money to stop it. So we will continue to watch the charts. That's what we do. We let the charts tell us which way to go. Keep your bias out of it. Especially if you're big into watching CNBC and then, I kind of think they might be right here. If you don't really know what you're doing, you got to be very careful in your trading. I would recommend just paper trading until you really get a feel for what you're doing, especially now. If you are long, you've been doing very well. That's okay. Keep with it. That's great. But if you're trying to guess the top, you're getting your hand slapped each and every day that you try to go short and the markets continue upward. So I would just really, really caution you again coming into the new week as we wait for lower levels to be broken. Let it get back below these lower levels. I love the 11.8 mark on the Dow, especially these 20-day moving averages. Those are the bigger areas to be watching to the downside on every one of the charts. NASDAQ reaching new highs as well. Looks like it wants to poke higher. Look for that come Monday into maybe even Tuesday. Drops once again. I'm going to give you just the same levels we've been talking about. I'm going to give you below these 20-day moving averages. I'm not a big shorter of the NASDAQ, but this is absolutely a place that if I was going to go, it would be below these areas here. Looking for that heavy acceleration to the downside within the markets. Now, look, we just broke. So, will this hold? Sometimes we see these things break on a Friday afternoon and they don't make it come into Monday. Yeah, very possible. But without any really bad news over the weekend, I can't imagine that we'll have anything to worry about come Monday from a bull standpoint. You do want to be watching, absolutely want to be watching these 20-day moving averages. That'll be big. NASDAQ weekly as well, showing a straight up candle this week. This just turned into a pullback, and now looks like we might be for a little bit more higher move here. Above 2340, above 2345 is your entry long. SPX on the 60-minute, you can see here, hitting, and then finally breaking here on Friday afternoon. Looking for that push back up and above all these areas. Really watch that 1320, 1330-ish area. As you can see us reaching new highs here as well. Move up. High base, move up, high base, move up, high base. Who knows? That would be my guess at this point. That's what we've seen here. Move up, pull back, move up, high base, move up, pull back, move up, pull back, move up, big pullback, and yet still bought up, high base. Move up, pull back. It's just lather, rinse, repeat here in the markets. As we continue higher, continue to watch these levels. I still like it back below here for your shorting opportunities. VIX, look. I told you had that huge move a couple Fridays ago, and then it bled out. The VIX, no fear at all coming into the markets. You can see on a weekly all the way back down again, just as we saw back here. This VIX is absolutely bleeding to death. There's no reason to be overly bearish down here. Now we are dropping into some lower levels where I do like to start looking at options again because the VIX is so low. A lot of times you can have a little bit of a volatility play down in these areas when you see this thing get as low as it is. So I'd be watching that very closely coming into the beginning of the week to see if we don't get a creep up in the VIX, especially if we get any bearishness. That's what we're looking for, is confirmation there. Apple 60-minute breaking up and over these areas here. Look for it above 347-ish coming into Monday, or back below 344 for your long and your short. And your daily, same thing, above 347 and below 344 for your shorting opportunity. Then to the downside, 341-ish would be a target if you went short Apple. Otherwise, to the long side, it is 349, and then above that, it's anybody's guess where this thing could stop. It's been setting up very, very nicely here. This looks like, a potential, I don't know how they'll count this out, but the point is this is an ascending triangle, and it looks like it just broke it on Friday. So any further bullishness in Apple, I really do think is going to make these highs, if not beyond that for sure. So I'd be watching that very closely in Apple coming into the new week. Weekly here as well, this blue line is here. That's up about 350. We're going to be over about 350, 351-ish or so. So I will give you, at least an idea of an overhead target here on Apple. But, based on the daily, it just looks like it could get pretty strong in through this area. So if there's one area of overhead resistance, it's going to be right around 348.50 and into this blue line here. FAS on a 60-minute, you can see above 31.25 for a long, below $30.50 for a short. Very clear to me on a 60-minute chart. From a daily, wait till it gets back below the 20-day moving average unless you want to play the difference between 30.50 and 30.25. It's up to you, but from a bigger trader standpoint, I like it. I like the weight below the 20-day moving average better, and then above 32 for a long and FAS. FAZ on the short side, holding to this upper line. Look at this very, very well. Looking for a drop back below, if it gets back below about 820 or so, then I got to expect it to get back into the area of 805, and anything below $8, yeah, look out to the downside. Back above, I'm just going to stick with what I've been talking about, and that is back above about $8.80 and $9. But bigger picture, guys, quite honestly, it's really way up here. It's back above this 925-ish area, then back above 960, and then into the 1050 area for your longs. But below $8, back to the short side we go for FAZ. Be very careful on this. What you want, if you want to get bullish this, is you really, really, really want this to get above the 20 and hold there for a while. Sit there and hold there and try to build some strength. But right now, the markets just will not allow any of that to happen. So these are your targets to watch coming into the early part of the week. That'll do it for the weekend video. Get you ready for the new week. I may or may not have one on Monday. I will be traveling all day Monday. If I get a chance to stop and do a video, that will always, a priority will always go to the subscribers. So if I have time to do a couple of videos, I will have one out Monday. If not, I'll be back to my regular routine on Tuesday for sure. See you then. Bye.